Last class, what we have done is we even wrote one program, and that program was related with area. So that particular program we are going to revise today as well, so that it will be much more easier for you to understand what modular program is actually. So what I'll do today is I'll just type in that program, whatever we had done last time, same program I'll type in. And first of all, I will explain the different parts of that particular program, and we'll talk about other keywords that are there in the program. Okay. So according to last time, according to what we did last time, every program that we write in a modular approach has to be declared at the beginning. Okay, so what we do is we first of all declare, and in order to declare we use declare keyword. Okay, this is what we saw last time. In order to write any program using modular approach, we first have to declare, and in order to declare, what we do is we write down declare, then we write down sub, then we write down the name of the sub procedure, and the name of the sub procedure last time was area, so I'm going to use the same example. So the sub procedure name is area, and after writing the sub procedure name, what we do is we write down those two small brackets. You can see over here these highlighted ones, small brackets. Now don't get confused, because most of them they get confused over here. This is small bracket. Okay, this is not less than or greater than sign. It is not less than or greater than sign. Okay, please be careful. It is not less than or greater than sign, but it is small brackets or parentheses. Now, in whatever way you want to pronounce. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll be using this bracket terminology. Okay, because it will not create any confusion. So this is small brackets. Okay, now what we have to do is we write sub area. Now we are right now we are into the example of length and breadth. Okay, that is area of a rectangle. Now for area of a rectangle, what we need is we need two things. Okay, we need two things, and those two things are length and breadth. So what we have to do is we have to take input. So in order to take whatever we take input, those values we have to store in a variable, and whatever variables we use, those variables we write inside this bracket. Okay, so in this particular program we need two things, that is length and breadth. So for to store length I'm using L, and to store breadth I'm using B. So this is how we basically declare. Write declare, write sub, then write down the sub procedure name. Now talking about sub procedure name, since our program is related with area, I'm using the sub procedure name as area. Now suppose if it was related with volume, then I would have written volume. The point that I'm trying to highlight is whatever sub procedure name you type in such a way, give a name so that it makes sense. Okay, anybody who can see the sub procedure name may be able to guess. Okay, let them, so that it becomes easier for us to understand the program. So don't write like this. Now if you write simply A also, okay, you can write like this, no problem. If you write like, okay, you can give this also sub procedure name, but this kind of name doesn't make any sense. So try to avoid such kind of naming conventions. Okay, so whenever you give a name, what you do is you give one appropriate name. So the best appropriate name is area. Now if you suppose somebody might think, okay, if you are talking about appropriate name, then okay, area of a rectangle. Now this looks even appropriate. Okay, but the problem is this sub procedure name is little longer. So try to use a short sub procedure name, and that short name, so that it makes sense as well. Okay, so whenever we write down the name of the sub procedure, make sure that it makes sense and it is short. So after declaring, what we do is we write down CLS. Okay, and after CLS we take input, that is input. Now what we need is two things. So enter length. L, and there are few things that I will explain in today's class, so please don't leave early. There are few things that needs to be explained which I haven't done in last class. This much we are done in last class, but there are few additional things that I'll show in this class, and most probably we'll be discussing in this class only. Okay, I wrote the whole program. Okay, now there are two things that needs to be taken input, that is length and breadth. So after declaration, what we do is we write down CLS to clear the previous output. Then after CLS, always, if there are any inputs to be taken, then we write input keyword and we write down the question, whatever needs to be asked to the user, and whatever values we want to store, then we give variables. So right now it is length and breadth. So I'm using LB to store length and breadth. And after our input is over, then what we do is we have to call our sub procedure. Okay. For those of you who have missed, what we do in modular programming is we divide our programs into three parts, basically into three parts. And modular programming can be achieved by two ways. One is sub procedure, and another sub procedure, and another method is function procedure. Okay, or this can be called as sub module or function module also, anything. So right now what we are discussing is we are discussing how to write program using sub procedure. So that's what we are discussing right now. And in order to write any program using sub procedure, there are three things that has to be considered. One is, first of all, we declare, and after we declare, what we do is we call a sub procedure, and after we call a sub procedure, what we do is we define a sub procedure. Okay, these are the three things that we have to do, that is declare, call, and define. These are the three things. And so far what we have done is we have done two things. Two things are, one, we have declared, you can see over here, declare has been already done. Then the another thing is call, and call also has been done over here. And in order to call, we write down call keyword, and after writing call keyword, we write down the sub procedure name, and after writing sub procedure name, we write down the values that needs to be passed. Okay, and after we call, we end our this main module, that is we write end keyword. So from declare to end, this is known as main module. In modular programming, there will be basically two modules. One is main module, which we have already written, and another module is sub module, and that sub module is the definition. So if you remember, there are three things that I wrote: declare, call, and definition. Now the only thing left is the definition part. Now before moving towards definition part, there are few terminologies that I want you all to remember. Okay, now if you see this L and B over here, this L and B has a name, and this L and B are known as parameters. Okay, this thing we have already explained last time also. And you can see over here in call part, call area LB, here this L and B is known as arguments. Okay, so there are two things, one is parameters, another one is arguments. So these are the things that looks simple but are frequently asked in exam as well. Okay, so this much we had explained, or we had studied in last class also. Now there are few other names for parameters and arguments. That's what I'm going to write right now. Parameters are also known as formal parameters. Okay, parameters, now this LB can be referred as parameters or formal parameters, and similarly this arguments also has a name. It also has a name, and it is known as real parameters or actual parameters. Okay, it has these many names. Arguments are also referred as real parameters or actual parameters, whereas this, that is parameters, are also known as formal parameters. This is what you have to understand. Now let's move towards our definition part, and definition part starts with sub. then we write down the name of the sub procedure, then we write down the parameters L, comma, B. Now, as soon as I press enter, what will happen is I will be directed towards another window. As you can see, I've been directed towards another window. Okay. So this definition part is the main part where we write, where our actual code lies. Okay. Here, what we'll do is we'll write a formula that will generate area. And secondly, after we write down the formula, what we'll do is we'll print the value of area. So in order to generate area, the formula is length into breadth. So that's what I'm going to use over here. A for area, I'm just using A. You can even write AR also. L into B. You can give one any variable. Now, since A stands for area, so I'm using A. And print the area of a rectangle is, and it is A. So we have already printed. And one more thing, sub always ends with end sub. This also you have to remember. Now, this end sub I didn't type, it automatically appears over here, but in copy we have to type. Okay, that's what you have to remember. You shouldn't forget writing end sub. Each sub ends with end sub. So let's run our program and see the output. Okay, it says length 5. Okay, let's see, give breadth 4. So 5 4s are 20. So 20 should be our answer. So the answer is area of a rectangle is 20. Now let's see how this program works. Okay. Okay, let me save this program. Okay, I have one more editor over here. Okay, as you can see, there is one more. Okay, you can see there is one more editor. So I'll be using both the editors. Okay. Okay, now the first thing that we have to remember is how our program runs. Okay, every modular programming, whenever we write a modular program and we run our modular programming, our program always starts from the main module. And this is our main module over here. Okay, let me make it a little bit smaller. Okay, this is our main module. So our program always starts with main module, then it will be directed towards the various sub procedures or modules that we have made in our program. So there is only one module so far. Okay, there is only one module or one sub procedure that we have created in our program, and the sub procedure that we have created is area. Now, it is not that we can only create one sub procedure. We can create as many sub procedures as we want. Okay, and combination of these two is our whole program. And when we run our program always starts with the main module. So this is our main module. So what will happen? Okay, let's start. So we run our program. So as soon as we run our program, it comes to the main module, and the first line of main module is declare sub area. So what this line will do is it will create a sub procedure named area. That's what it will do. And I'm showing you how the module is created. Okay. Okay. Now this declare will create a submodule, and you can see this area over here. This is our submodule. So this is what declare does. Okay. Whenever we write this line, it will create a submodule or the sub procedure named as area. And what kind of sub procedure is this? Area is a sub procedure. Area is a sub procedure that will take 2 arguments. Okay, it will take 2 arguments, and those 2 arguments will be stored in L and B parameters. I hope I'm not confusing right now. Okay, let me explain this in Nepali as well so that it becomes more clearer. Area भनेको एउटा सब प्रोसिड्युर हो. यो डिक्लेयरले के गर्दैछ त? डिक्लेयरले एउटा एरिया नामको सब प्रोसिड्युर क्रिएट गर्दैछ, र त्यो क्रिएट भएको सब प्रोसिड्युर कस्तो हुन्छ त? एरिया भनेको एउटा सब प्रोसिड्युर हो जसले 2टा आर्गुमेन्ट्स लिन्छ. यहाँ मैले प्यारामिटर्स लिन्छ भनिन, मैले आर्गुमेन्ट्स लिन्छ भने. किन त भन्दाखेरि यसमा भनेको केही चीज स्टोर हुन्छ. प्यारामिटर्स भनेको भेरिएबल नै हो, र यो भेरिएबलमा केही भ्यालु स्टोर हुन्छ, र त्यो भ्यालु भनेको चाहिँ आर्गुमेन्ट्सहरु हो. त्यसैले एरिया भनेको एउटा सब प्रोसिड्युर हो जसले 2टा आर्गुमेन्ट्स लिन्छ, र त्यो आर्गुमेन्ट्सहरु L र B भन्ने प्यारामिटर्स अथवा भेरिएबल्स अथवा फर्मल प्यारामिटर्समा चाहिँ स्टोर हुन्छ. Fine. So after that, it is CLS, which will simply clear the output screen. That's all it does. Then we come to input. So input, as we saw in our output screen as well, it will ask two questions, length, breadth, and whatever value user types, it will be stored in L and B respectively. Length will be stored in L, breadth will be stored in B. And then comes this part. Now this part is also important and has to be understood. So as soon as we take input, what we do is we will call the sub procedure, and it is done through this call statement. Okay, call area. So as soon as call gets executed, our control will be directed towards our sub procedure. It won't go to end, but it will go to the sub procedure part. So call area, after call area will take us to this particular part, sub procedure part. Okay, so what is happening over here is it is calling sub procedure by passing two arguments, and the two arguments are stored in L and B. Parameters are variables, arguments are values. Okay, now whatever user has typed over here, suppose in our previous example it was 5 and 4. 5 is stored in L and 4 is stored in B. So this is basically call area 5 comma 4, because L holds 5, B holds 4. So 5 and 4 will be passed from here, and it will go and store in this L and B, and this L and B is parameters. This is parameters, or it is also known as formal parameters. Okay, you can say anything. So the first argument will be stored in first parameter, and the second argument will be stored in second parameter. So this L and B eventually will store 5 and 4. So after this, it will go to this line, that is A equal to L into B. So the L is 5, B is 4, 5 4s are 20, 20 will be stored in A, and this line will display the output. That is, the area of a rectangle is 20. And after this line, it will come to end sub. End sub means our sub procedure will get terminated. This sub procedure screen, it will get terminated. Okay, this sub procedure will get terminated, and after calling, it will come towards end, and our program will stop over here. So this is how the sequence of sub procedure works. From here, call will take us towards the sub procedure definition. Sub procedure definition gets executed. Once its definition gets executed, then it will again come back to the main module, and since this call has already been executed, it will go below, it finds end, and our sub procedure will stop over here. So this is the whole sequence how sub procedure works. Okay, now there are few things that I told you before also, which I'm going to talk in this particular class. Now let's see over here. Okay, I'm just minimizing this one. Okay, let's talk in terms of this particular window. Declare sub area L comma B. Okay, now the first thing that I want to highlight is this declaration part is optional. You may write it or you may ignore it, no problem. तिमीहरुले डिक्लेयर भनेको लेख्दा पनि भयो, नलेख्दा पनि भयो, यो अप्सनल कुरा हो, यो लेख्नै पर्छ भन्ने जरुरत छैन। तर यो कुरा चाहिँ एकदम ध्यान दिनु। तर हामी चाहिँ हरेक प्रोग्राम, जति पनि प्रोग्राम हामी पढ्छौं, हामी चाहिँ डिक्लेयर पनि लेख्छौं है, किनकि अकॉर्डिंग टु द करिकुलम it is advised to mention declare part as well. Okay, that declaration part also has to be mentioned. So every program that we write will consist of declaration part, and you all also need to write declaration part in copy as well as in exam as well. Okay, in exam also you have to write, but if you don't write also, no problem, it doesn't make any difference, but theoretically it is advised that you write, and that's what you will all do. Okay, you need to write. So let's see what happens if I remove this declare line. Okay, if I remove this declare line also, our program runs smoothly. You can see enter length 4 7. send for the 20th. Our program is running smoothly. So it's not that if you don't write declare, it's a mistake. No, you may write it or you may ignore it. It doesn't make any difference. But according to the curriculum, we have to write this. So this is what we've been writing. Okay. Now let's go towards this part, that is input, enter length. Now, if you look over here, this parameter and argument, it has the same name. Okay. Here also we are using L comma B, and here also we are using LB. Now, suppose if somebody writes for length LL and for breadth, if somebody writes BB, then over here in this calling part, there will be some changes, and the changes are, now here we are storing our length value in LL variable, and here we are storing our breadth value in BB variable. And here in call part, what we have to transfer is the value. So where are our values? Our values are stored in LL and BB. So while calling a sub procedure, what we have to do is we have to give the exact variable name which stores our value. And the variables that stores our values are LL and BB. Okay, I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say. So whatever values you store in those variables, we have to write when we pass the arguments. So LL, BB consist of arguments. So those variables we have to use. Is it fine? So if you have any doubt, what you can do is you can write me through the chat section. Okay. And so far I have not received any messages. Okay. So what I'm considering is, I'm considering that everybody is understanding what I'm trying to explain right now. So any doubt, you can just write me through the chat section so that I can know and I can explain over here. Okay. So LL BB लेख्नुको कारण हामीले भ्यालुहरु LL र BB मा स्टोर गर्यौं, त्यसैले त्यही भ्यालुहरु चाहिँ हामीले यहाँ दियौं. अब यहाँबाट दिइसकेपछि हाम्रो कन्ट्रोल कहाँ जान्छ त? Our control goes to the sub procedure part. So let's go towards sub procedure, and for that what we'll do is we will press F2 key from the keyboard. Okay, F2. Press F2, you'll get this window, and from here you have to select the sub procedure part, which is area. And you can see this q.bs is the name of our file. Okay, I just saved it in q, so it is q.bs, and our sub procedure name is area. So that particular name indicates that it is the sub procedure. So let's click on this. So here it is L comma B. Okay, now, okay, let me just save it and I'll use another window so that it becomes easier. Okay, I've saved this. Let me save it one more time. Okay, now let's go towards another editor. So, okay, let me remove this and let me open it one more time. Okay, as you can see, the changes have already been saved and it's displaying over here. Okay, okay, here in this part, okay, okay, now what I want to do is I want to go back to my main module. Q.bs is our main module. Okay, let's press enter. Okay, this is our main module and this is our sub module. So what will happen is whatever values has been passed from this line, that is while calling, two values has been passed, and these values will be stored in L and B. So okay, here I have to go to my sub procedure part. So these values will be stored in L and B, and here is our parameters, and these parameters will store and it will display area. So let's run our program. It says 5, 7. As you can see, our output is exactly correct. 7 5s are 35. So what is happening is from here the values are being passed and those values are stored over here. Calculation is done and our result has been displayed. Now here, suppose if you change, if you give some other parameters, that also it's acceptable. Suppose here if I write x, y. Now if you see this parameter and this parameter is different. Okay. Even though it is different, our program will run perfectly. But there are few changes that we have to make. So here we can't write L and B. So if you write L and B, it will not recognize this L and B because over here the name of our parameters we have changed. Even though it is L and B, this part, okay, even though it is LB over here, if we write a different name in the definition part, it's perfect, no problem. The only thing is you have to write X, Y over here, because whatever values that has been passed from here, it will be stored in XY, and XY contains the values. So we have to use it so that the calculation will be done and the value will be stored in A, and that particular value will be displayed. The area of a rectangle is A. Let's run this program. Okay, 5, 6, 6 5s are 30. So it is running smoothly. So the bottom line is, whatever in most cases, what you will see is you will see the same variable name. What I'm trying to mean is, suppose in declare part, if you write LB, for easier purpose, what we usually do is we use L and B everywhere. Here also we'll be using L and B. Okay, here also we'll be using L, B, and same change can be done in the formula part as well. L, B. भन्नुको अर्थ यो एलबी एलबी लेख्नुको कारण तिमीहरूले बुकहरुमा पनि हेर्यो भने प्राय यही सेम भेरिएबल नै युज गरेको पाउँछौ। यो गर्नुको कारण चाहिँ सजिलोको लागि हो, बस त्यति हो। अब तिमी डिफरेन्ट लेख्छौ भने पनि डिफरेन्ट भेरिएबल लेख्दा पनि भयो, केही फरक परेन। जुन अघि नै मैले गरे, यहाँ एल यहाँनिर मैले एलबी लेखेको थिएँ, यहाँ एलएलबीबी लेखेको थिएँ, यहाँनिर एक्सवाई लेखेको थिएँ, त्यसरी गर्दा पनि भयो। तर यसरी गर्यो भने चाहिँ अलिकति सजिलो हुन्छ, सेम भेरिएबल भयो, त्यो अलि गज्याङ गुजुङ नहोस् भन्ने हिसाबले चाहिँ प्राय यसरी चाहिँ किताबहरुमा पनि लेखिएको हुन्छ र प्राय पढाउने क्रममा पनि यसरी नै पढाउने चाहिँ गर्छौं र यही फेनोमेनन चाहिँ म युज गर्छु। ठीक छ, what I'll do is I'll be using the same variable so that there is no problem. But in exam, if the question is, if there is LB over here, if there is different name in argument part, and if there is again different name in this part, then don't get confused. Okay, whatever name, and suppose if it is LB over here, and suppose if it is X, Y over here, this remember carefully. Okay, this you have to remember. If question is like this, it has created this kind of program where in declaration part it is using LB for parameters, it is using LLBB for arguments. Okay, LLBB for arguments, and it is using XY for parameters. And the question is asked, write down the parameter name in the given program. Then what you will do is, in the parameter of the given program is you will write XY. किन XY त भन्दाखेरि एउटा रिजन छ यहाँ। डिक्लेरेसन पार्ट भनेको त अप्सनल हो, यो त लेखे पनि हुन्छ नलेखे पनि हुन्छ, जुन हामीले हेरिसकेका छौं। डिक्लेयरलाई हटाएर पनि प्रोग्राम स्मुथली रन भएको थियो। त्यसैले प्यारामिटरलाई चाहिँ तिमीहरूले के ठान्नु त भन्दाखेरि यो डेफिनिसन पार्टको जे भेरिएबल छ नि, यसलाई चाहिँ प्यारामिटर भन्नु। ठीक छ, प्यारामिटर जसको अर्को नाम के हो त फर्मल प्यारामिटर्स। ओके, त्यसैले यसलाई के भन्नु, प्यारामिटर्स भन्यो भने चाहिँ यसलाई बुझ्नु। अब डिक्लेयर पनि लेखेकै छ भने अब यो एलबी के हो त भन्यो भने यो एलबी पनि प्यारामिटर्सै हो। ठीक छ, तर हामीले एक्जाममा आन्सर लेख्नको लागि, just to write down answer in exam, if your program is given like this and it states a question saying write the parameters or formal parameters used in the program, then at that particular time what you will do is you will write XY, forget about LB, because this declaration part is optional. That's how you will write. Okay, so okay, this was what I was trying to explain in this particular program. Okay, so in today's session, actually this was what I wanted to talk about. Now there is one more thing I would like to talk before our time gets over. So we have around 6 minutes and I'll do your attendance in a while, so stay for some time. Okay, the another thing that I want to tell you is about the naming convention. Okay, which we talked in last class also. Same thing I want to repeat right now, that whatever name you use, okay, whatever name you use as a sub procedure, that name has to be very unique. That name cannot be input. That name cannot be the keyword that is already used in QBasic, like CLS. It has a certain meaning in QBasic. So CLS is known as keyword. Similarly declare, similarly sub, similarly input, similarly call, and if, for, next, while, all these keywords have a significant meaning in QBasic editor. So such words are known as keywords, and keywords are those words which has a certain meaning and does certain work in programming. Okay, and those keywords we can't use as the name of the sub procedure. किवर्डहरूलाई सब प्रोसिड्युरको नाममा चाहिँ युज गर्न मिल्दैन. Another thing, sub procedure name, try to give short sub procedure name as meaningful as possible and as short as possible as well. Okay, छोटो र meaningful नाम चाहिँ दिनु. Thirdly, your sub procedure name cannot be used as a variable name over here. Suppose if somebody writes, okay, I want to store the value of area in variable area. If he writes like this, now if he writes like this, then this A has to be area. Now this XY, okay, let's make it L comma B. Now if I run this program, as you can see over here, it is showing error. Okay, let me expand it. Okay, you can see duplicate definition. Now duplicate definition meaning this area has already been used in the name of the sub procedure, hence it is not allowing us to create a variable with sub procedure name. This is what you have to be careful. But if you write AR, then it's absolutely correct, because AR is a unique variable. So if you run our program, yes, it is running smoothly and it displays answers smoothly as well. So, okay, these are the basic things that we have to understand while writing program using sub procedure. And writing program with function is also similar. In function also, we will declare, we will call, we have to write down the definition part, but there is a slight difference which we'll see later on.
Thank you so much for watching. Please do like my video so that I get motivated to create more of these videos. We would appreciate if you would share this video with your friends. And if you have any queries and suggestions, let me know through the comment section. Lastly, please do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you.